Back again for another one with another black leader. This one is of my Agent of Destruction. I know I was having a few talks with some guys at locals and how not good this leader is, but not good right now in the current meta is what is said. But I think this is something to experiment with and grind. I think it has a chance. And that's why I want to change the opinion if I could have your time. But I think this is still pretty relevant, still pretty strong. Uh, Black got a boost, so in turn, this got a indirect boost. But without further ado, let's get into the profile. Uh, I wanted this used to be the uh, so high up in a tier list, but people just dropped off it. But this is a good tempo leader that brings a lot of pressure. I'm designed this to be mid-range for the purpose of this profile, but there's a cool combo variant that I might show later. I just couldn't gather up the pieces, but I say the combo version is for best of one, but the mid-range is like your standard bread and butter for best of one, best of three, and let you pivot more. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let me see if I close it up for you a bit so you can read the card. Good card advantage. Let you add life, but I say the only downside to this leader is on the backside, you don't draw at all. You get to play your A.O.D cards, but you don't draw. Also, there is like another leader that you can use for the package I'm running, which is the reboot. It seemed like the reboot pre-release leaders always had that formula, or the new formula. I want to say set 20 and forward. They started adopting the take a life and draw one, which is not bad. This is like one of the only ones that untap one, draw one though. The rest they formulated to just draw two, just like the pan leader. I would say this is really decent. The only injustice they did was not letting you draw positive card advantage. I don't know why they didn't want you to plus off a leader swing. Because generally, when you read that auto, you discard one and then you draw two, right? Every other card I've seen with that effect is always draw two, except for this one. Can we get that errata, Bandai? Just so we can have a card in our hand? But I say the main difference is you gotta work a little bit for the field presence, but you get to boost up your Agents of Destruction cards with the activate menu. But I don't like when I have to jump through too many hoops to make stuff work. But if I got time, I will. But getting on to the next list. Made this to be like more of a control tempo deck. With the few main cards of it. The Hatch and the Babidi. It's like you have 6 copies. Then the main star of the show is that, and then we got 3 slug and 2 of the super making, because the green slug plays this slug. I had it at 4 and also playing with what's that card, the green one that's dual attack 19. I had it in my hand. Conqueror's Claim. It's an anniversary box promo that if you have like your opponent has 3 more energy, it gets +6, but it's 19 base and dual attack. Was testing out, but continuing on. Also, I feel this is really strong for the format. Continuing on, our searchable barrier removal, because I know he was splashing Cumber and everything, but just to get through certain barrier cards. But with this, I don't have to. And all you have to do to get it out is just have 7 A.O.D cards in your between your energy, the energy drop, build. And that's super easy to do. How widespread. The other reason I wanted to play this deck because of this card right here. I think this is the latest A.O.D card that got released last year. But I'm like, interesting. Mostly you're just gonna have to hold that 3, but this is meant to help close out the game. Also, it's indestructible, so if you're not playing the answers to it or the red cards to -0, it's gonna stay on the field and just keep pressuring you. Super combo of choice. I said we were playing a control deck, so we're running the slug. I say half the time I like to keep one on field, and also I can bounce this back to my hand with other cards that we'll get into later in the game. The third reason why the deck was strong is Android 13 Extermination had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of different rulings on this, but also with this effect, before you get the full value, this card has to send the card you're targeting with this effect to the drop, or else it just go to the drop itself and just like fizzle. Or that's what was one of the last rulings on that. But if we go to number 4, this card does a lot, and it just grabs us anything, and also fuels our drop for overwhelms. This is kind of like pressure, recovery, and a little bit of tempo. I would say the number 5, in my opinion, of cards you have to get into by turn 2, turn 3 is Turles. This is like, since our leader don't plus, we gotta get our value some way. So this is the big shaker and mover. Surprised they gave that barrier, which is going to stick on the field for at least a turn or 2, and that's more than enough of what you need to get it shaking and moving. And this is another cool card which we kind of abuse in this deck, and this affects not once per turn, so you can get advantage on your opponent's turn, and you can just get advantage on your turn. If I haven't mentioned it before, the key to this deck is centers around this and how this reduces the cost of all your A.O.Ds by 1, which makes its offensive and defensive capabilities extremely high. I say the only downside is like until turn 3 and later, you mostly swinging with 15 Ks, but that's all right, because you can keep playing him and fuel the board. Also, another cute tech in here. I've been floating between 1, 2, 3. I think 2 is the right number, but this is another way to generate value. Also, it combos with this, where you can bounce this back to your hand at the end of the turn if you have 3 more energy, or you can bounce the super combo if you want to bring that up, just to keep value in your hand. Then flipping off that, we got Mirror Destruction. This kind of like hand control lead style of deck. We want to keep the advantage in our favor and keep reducing their card advantage. And you just want to tempo them out. And let me see. That behind, you keep ripping it in and have this in rest mode, so they can't draw external cards outside of their leader, so they card advantage won't go up as they normally would by having like 15 plus cards in their hand. We say no, and this stops a lot of the meta decks too, because a lot of them don't have the answers to that. Frame one, and all you need is like 1 or 2 turns of that, and you pretty much lock them out the game. Petrification, just the one arm, just for the situation. Protector of the people. Oh, whoop. Just for the situation. 2 support. Usually I run 4, but I want to squeeze space for Gohan and the new Bardock. Some of our latest black support, and rocking this for a board wipe. Usually I don't like to discard, but I can discard my like SGR just to blow up your board, and I can do it for 3 energy, and like it's one of the many thresholds you need to be able to do when you're building your decks, and that is being able to clear a board. And for our last card, just to pair with that, charismatic villain, gotta make them respected, and that is the main deck. I wanted to make it 60, but it's more beneficial to have it closer to 50. Starting off with some of our bread and butter. Oolong, just to keep manage the hand size. This Great Ape Son Goku struggle in the castle. Just also to help mitigate the red matchup in early fields. As going into our blue a little bit, we got Son Goku, Battle of Fate, just to establish, and Mr. Worldwide right here. If it's blue in the deck and I can get there, I'm playing him. Also, he answers certain cards in the format that we don't like to see too early, because we do play a lot of get hit by BMS and Quoits. Then we have the Tyrant Broly. Not too hard to make him, because the main colors we charging in this deck is blue, green, and yellow. Followed by his extra card. I really don't usually go double strike for game for him. I'm just swinging it into their board just to combo with this and make them be scarred. Then we got this just as a card advantage play, and since we're running yellow, this is like the double strike we usually try to go in with. Also, I was thinking about just bumping this up and like siding like the Great Saiyaman for like stun, but we'll see how it develops. Side deck, some Gohan history to Deborah, other defense, not my other Petri, other protector, keys. My question to you: do you got the keys? I know I do. What else we got? Since it's not hard to meet his condition by turn 4 or later, because we run at 5 colors in this deck, and if I want to, I could just charge a black card and have him live, and that's for our heavy defense package if he fights in something super aggro and to continue to control the game. Koiskai, BMS is probably going to be a staple inside for those decks that not trying to win as early as turn 3, even though this deck can if you let it, but it's usually trying to grind to the later half. And then we got Hunt, and that is the list. There's a myriad of SCRs you can run. I'm still toying with the different possibilities. I might even go to that eventually and like torture myself to find a proper list to play that with. But this is pretty much the framework. Let me say it again. Framework to build on, where you can play something different. I omitted the color red for the time being, cause it's easier and stronger to focus on like 2 or 3 colors versus like four or 5 colors main deck, and just in deck building and spacing and all that. But it can be done, I would say, but I wouldn't recommend it for till the format gets slower, because you still have a lot of fast decks running around, and this can be fast like the rest of them, but it's best to temper the pace of your opponent versus trying to race them, because they will probably win every time. But the things I like about this is the control it has in mitigating and leading your opponent's actions, and there are so many cards in this deck that your opponent has to respect, otherwise they are falling behind in the game. I would say for this build, I think I play pretty good defense enough to not really need any of the defensive SCRs that you can run. But there's Pan, there's Vegito, which I thought about. But for, I would say, this particular list, I would say if you wanted to, you don't have to run SCR, but if you wanted to, I would say Vermilions is the best one. I know another card I don't run in here is like Nimbus. We don't really want to minus too much in here. Oh, I forgot another card that would be cool. I didn't really add an SER to the main deck because I wanted to get it close to 50 as possible, but we are going to world tour different SCRs in the deck, because like there's so many different options that just make sense and will destroy the opponent. But this has been my rendition of it. You can test out the framework for yourself. Let me know how it does. We definitely bring in A.O.D back. And also, when I was doing my research, I was originally trying to bring this combo back, as well as figure out a way to play the only SCR that was seemingly dedicated for the deck in this Arcane Absorption. And we found a way to do it thanks to one of our OG creators. He still pop around every once in a blue moon, like once a year, every other year. It's rare, but his video log's still very helpful. But there's another list I'm going to touch to bring the shenanigans with this into frame. But any thoughts, comments, questions? Leave them down in the comment section. We can continue to have the discussion and let me know what you think. Also, another negate I was thinking about running was the new black one from set 29, but I wanted to have my defense. I don't want to have too many extra cards because I wanted to be combo efficient. So when I'm ready to combo my hand, there's very few dead cards in the deck. I think I got under 10 non-comboable cards in my deck, and that's pretty efficient for a mid-range deck, especially carries the criteria of the aggro deck, but it puts me like ahead of my agenda. But oof, I wanted to show the combo one version first, but don't have all the cards together right now. But all I gotta say is stay tuned for that. It will be glorious. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.